Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your middle of April reading. This is a complicated situation. It's almost like somebody feels like they're trapped in a home or a domestic situation because we do have belonging, house of night, and we do have invisible. So somebody may feel like they belong to a certain household, but they feel invisible in that house. So when I see this invisible card, it kind of reminds me of somebody who they are part of a family unit, but it's almost like maybe they're at the bottom of the family unit. Maybe they're like the servant, or the one that everyone complains to. So I don't know if a lot of people complain to you and go to you for advice, but we have those two cards. We also have individuality and self-worth. You could be working on your self-worth now and respecting the fact that you are an individual. Things are complicated, but you're also coming to some sort of understanding. And you may feel trapped with a certain oath you took. Maybe you got married. I don't know. Somebody could be getting married maybe in the middle of this month, and then they feel trapped in that. What you don't see coming is playfulness. Playfulness. I'm going to get some more oracle cards on this because I really don't understand everything that's going on with this. With the oracle cards, they're kind of interesting because you can look at an oracle card and it'll say a certain word, but then when you open the book, it says something else. And but it just seems like to me that somebody's trapped in some sort of situation. And I don't know if you're involved with somebody who's married in the middle of April or you're married. But so it's almost like you could be in a situation where you want to feel accepted. That's what this belonging house of the night means, but you feel invisible to somebody or somebody feels invisible to you. With the understanding card, we have, and it just repeats itself, true comprehension, which is understanding. Okay. And with oath, we have, and it's the same thing, promises. I mean, it basically means what it says. So these cards are meaning what they say. These particular ones. Now, to clarify, we're going to use the Energy Oracle deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. We're going to get some more Oracle cards on these Oracle cards. And my OCD is just acting up tonight. Like, I keep looking at things and I'm like, oh, everything has to be a certain way. Everything has to be a certain way. Everything has to, it's just so weird, right? Like, we're gonna shuffle these 5 times and get to your clarification cards, and then the abundance cards, and then the crystal cards. I'm really not trying to rush through your reading. This is just so vague. Somebody made some sort of oath, and now they feel trapped, and they're trying to work on their self-worth, but it's almost like they really don't fit into a certain situation. Somebody could have gotten married into a certain family that they don't feel like they fit in with. Um, Interesting. So I don't know if it's you or your partner, but maybe somebody doesn't feel like they fit in and they're trying to work on their self-worth and individuality, but they just don't feel like they fit in. And there's nothing wrong with not fitting in. It's just you need to recognize your self-worth. You need to know that it's okay to be an individual. It's okay to have individuality. It's okay to be different. With belonging, we have happy family. You get the happy family card. With individuality, we have the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. Okay. So you could be communicating about your individuality or communicating with spirit. Or you could even be having telepathic dreams with somebody. Now, with complicated, we have third chakra, Archangel Chamuel. Okay. Third chakra, what's that about? That is 37. This is a great time to move toward the completion of your desires. Your life force is vibrating with power and resonance, and your soul is calling you to direct your energy in a focused, purposeful manner. This angel of power is with you now, so go for it. So basically, with this complicated card and this archangel card, the problem is things are complicated because you're not clear on your intention. You need to be clear on your intention. Some of you could be saying, I want a husband. No, I don't want a husband. Or I want a wife. No, I don't want a wife. Well, which is it? Like, you can't send mixed signals to the universe because the universe is going to be confused and you're not going to get what you want. Now, with the trapped card, we have the world. Could be the end of you being trapped in something. With invisible, we have attachment. So even though somebody feels invisible in a happy family, there's still some sort of attachment there. With self-worth, we have blossoming abundance. Somebody is very abundant at this time. And with understanding, we have cornucopia. Some sort of understanding is going to open up a lot of blessings. And with oath, we have patience, okay? There may have been an oath that you took to yourself, and you need to have patience that eventually it's going to come through for you. So we're going to pull out your abundance cards, and then we're going to get to the crystal cards, okay? I like how you got two angels in this reading. That was cool. So you got two angels working with you, but you need to be clear on your intentions. I mean, the universe wants to give you what you want, but you're not being clear on your intentions, and it can't really give you what you want if you're not clear about what you want. Now, with the happy family card, we have deepening. Once you're on earth for enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin to long for non-grasping, detachment, and surrender. They bring the peace of God. So somebody wants to detach from this happy family. They don't really feel like they fit in with this happy family. They want to detach. With the individuality card, we have loss. Sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make a passionate invitation for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of the ego's. So maybe you're putting aside your individuality for now. With complicated, we have worth. You've been worthy to belong to love all along without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. So this card is saying you're perfect just the way you are. Regardless of whether you fit into a certain group or not, you're perfect just the way you are. With trapped in the world, we have right now, stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You'll soon trust that nothing more will come than can be handled each moment. So basically, you're being advised to focus on the now. If you feel trapped, focus on the present moment. Don't focus on, are you still going to be trapped in the future? With invisible and attachment, we have freedom. I no longer want the spiral ring of resentment to block the good. Release me from its bonds. You want to be released from some sort of attachment? With blossoming abundance, we have limitless. See yourself open to receive in the most miraculous ways. The divine can use anything and anyone. And with cornucopia, we have sanctity. Through offering, even the most mundane problem can become a sacrament. So maybe you need to make some sort of offering to whatever God you believe in order to receive your blessings around this time. Now, with this oath that you made and you're having patience about it, it says allowing. Radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment, so what's needed can come next, okay? So that's basically about allowing the universe to do what it needs to do. For some reason, you know, this kind of reminds me of somebody maybe wants to get married, but they've got to allow the universe to step in and bring them their right person. Somebody could have taken an oath and they're like, yeah, someday I'm going to be married and we're going to be happy ever after. But you have to wait for it, right? So this is the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle, and it's by Judy Hall. And we're going to get into your crystal cards, and then we're going to be done with the reading. So some sort of change is coming in for you, and it's a good change because up until now, you know, you haven't really been treated with the respect and love that you deserve. And you have a good change coming in for you, but you have to be patient and you have to allow it. A lot of people these days, you know, they're not patient. You know, we have cell phones, we have social media, and people get on social media and they try to meet people that they think are right for them. And these are strangers. You know, we're putting our lives at risk by interacting with strangers. And I was watching a guy on YouTube who's really good about relationships. And he said that the best way to find somebody is through networking. You know, like if you have a friend of a friend who's known someone for 10 years, then they know that person's stable and they know all about them. And that person can't make up any lies because their friends will correct them on a double date. But that's just one suggestion. I mean, this is a spiritual video, right? So you expect me to be like, let the universe handle it. Well, yeah, we should let the universe handle it. But I was just making some conversation about the different ways we look for people and how it's crazy that we go online and we think online is the solution, right? It's not always the solution. And in fact, it puts us in danger. So, now we have Smoky Quartz Celestial. Smoky Quartz Celestial. And this one says, be patient. Another card about being patient. Much stirs beneath a calm surface. Total transformation is close. It may entail a trip into the underworld. Your shadow becomes your brightest gift. Toxic emotions turn to positive regard. Ground your efforts in the everyday, but retain contact with higher realms. Success comes through dedication and trust in your abilities. Mentors are available. Release yourself from old attachments. We also have Menelites. Okay. To move would not be beneficial now. So even though you may not feel connected to a certain family, moving would not help you. Nurture yourself and bide your time. Withdraw into your inner world to accept necessary change. Make your soul whole and find power allies. You know when it is time for rebirth. So this card kind of reminds me of somebody I knew who didn't get along with her family. She just stayed in her room a lot. Some of you could be playing video games or isolating yourselves, you know, but it's because a move at this time would not be beneficial. You know, I had friends that moved and then moved right back home. And in my mind, I was like, okay, what was the point of moving? Like to prove something? Because really, people move and then they lose money because it's so expensive to live out in the outside world, right? So some of you could still be at home with your parents, which is okay. I mean, it helps with saving money, and a move would not be beneficial at this time. We also have garnet. Garnet. So take action now. A mystery is solved. Have courage. There is a way out. Turn a crisis into a learning challenge. If danger approaches, stay calm. You are protected. Be emotionally honest with yourself and others. Make no long-term commitment as it may fizzle out once the purpose is fulfilled. Okay? So you need to be emotionally honest with people at this time. Brandenburg Amethyst. You are perfect exactly as you are in this present moment. Step onto your soul path and seed your future with potential. Self-discipline and clear focus bring your dreams to fruition. Aim for the highest. So basically, reach for the stars. We also have black tourmaline. Black tourmaline. Strengthen your protection, consolidate plans, and be realistic. You'll soon see the way through obstacles. Ensure you are well protected. Ill wishing or envy may be directed your way. Neutralize bad energy without harm to others. Watch your thoughts. Attend to practical matters. Be generous and give others freedom. We also have Nirvana Quartz, okay? It says to step off the karmic round and allow the karma of grace to manifest. So some of you could be repeating certain cycles over and over, and it's telling you to stop that. Open yourself to receive enlightenment. Recognize this as a new beginning and fresh energy. If you're experiencing traumatic times and soul challenges, relax and wait for resolution. Do not push against the river, go with the flow. And we have bloodstone, which is perseverance. It's talking about detoxing at this time. Preserve your good reputation. Recognize your enemies and keep them close. Do not be deceived. A farewell is called for. Mourn appropriately and let go. You are a spiritual warrior. Be assertive, okay? Be assertive. So you may be leaving a certain group of people in the future after the middle of April, but you need to be assertive when you let these people go. Don't be rude or mean or hateful. Just be assertive. Like, I know you guys want me to stay, but I would prefer to live somewhere else, if you are eventually going to be moving. We also have graphic smoky quartz. Undertake a shamanic journey into the unseen worlds in search of healing. There you will find the underlying causes of disease and outdated soul imperatives that are affecting your well-being. Offer yourself the gift of transformation. So some of you watch these readings and you're like, well, what's that mean? What is an outdated soul imperative? I was reading about conditioning. Actually, it's not conditioning. It's called domestication. And that's what kind of reminds me of outdated soul imperatives. You could have had someone telling you that you have to be a housewife, or you have to be this, or you have to be that. And it just didn't really make you feel good. It wasn't really something you wanted to be. But if you tried to fit the mold of something you didn't want to be, it may have caused feelings like depression and sickness. And it all starts with negative thoughts, right? You think a negative thought, and you keep dwelling on it, eventually, you can get health problems. So it's telling you to let go of that, basically, let go of outdated soul imperatives and, stuff you don't want to do. I mean, if you want to be a housewife, that's great, but not everyone does. I mean, back in the 50s, They thought that all women were supposed to do that, and um times have changed. Some of the same attitudes are still there, but times have changed, and so if you don't want to be a housewife, you don't have to be a housewife. So it looks like you're forging some sort of new path. And but it's going to take some time. I mean, because in the beginning of this reading it was telling you not to move, and then we got some cards that were talking about asserting yourself. So it's just not the right time to move, but maybe sometime in the future. And when that time does come, you need to be assertive. And even if you're not moving anytime soon, we should always be assertive about our needs, because if we're not assertive and we hold our needs in, then eventually that's going to lead to resentment in a relationship, and the relationship is ultimately not going to work out, right? So thank you for coming to this reading, Capricorn, and I'm sorry, that you feel like you don't fit in with this group of people. Sometimes it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I'm not trying to insult anyone's family, but I'm just saying sometimes it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I had family members that were lawyers, right? And it was one of my family members they told me about that was a lawyer, and people wanted me to be a lawyer. My mom was like, "Oh, you argue so much. You should be a lawyer. You never, stop arguing." And but for me, it was just too much reading. I didn't want to read 1,000 pages a night or more. So, I never became a lawyer. It's not like they kept telling me to do that, but my mom really did, sometimes say, you should be a lawyer, and people will tell us all sorts of shoulds in our lives, but it's up to us to decide what we want to do. So, it's not necessarily a bad thing just because you come from a family that wants something and you don't do it, so what? I mean, there's still other callings out there. You do not have to conform to what a group of people tells you should conform to. And there are a lot of psychology books about that as well. But thank you for coming to this reading, and I hope things work out for you. Good luck.